Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Welcome to Open House with Jerry Cornell, where we feature people, places, and things that are in the news or who should be in the news. And this time of year, we usually have this program. We had it last year, and we're having it again now. And with us are two other GNN hosts who have their own programs here and who are very near and dear to me. Although we don't always agree on many things, and but then other than that, we're okay. And of course, I mean, it's because of people like them who who have bright and enlightening opinions on the things that have been happening, that are happening, that will happen, that makes GNN what it is. So welcome, and GNN, by the way, airs nationwide and in several Asian countries via Global News Network, GNN GSAT, Global Destiny, Sun Cable, and also worldwide you can watch and listen to this program on the internet streaming at www.gnntv-asia.com. And our guests from my left, Larry Bruhard of CSR.
Hey.
And with we have Mr. Harry Tambuatco of Talk to Harry.
My name is Larry Bruhard.
There you go. Okay, we're going to talk about different things, and well, let's see if we can keep within the time limit, because I was talking to these two gentlemen, and I said let's try to contain our answers, opinions, and comments within 2 minutes. So if I interrupt them, this is a pre-arranged thing, okay? I'll tell them when there's 15 minutes to go so I don't get to interrupt them at the middle of their sentence. Now, I have a 5-minute limit for myself. No, just kidding.
Well, it's your show.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so anyway, Larry and Harry, 2013. To me, three things are uppermost in my mind. What happened in 2013? I guess one would be, of course, the national elections. The other one would be the scam, the pork barrel scam. And then, of course, now we have this, we have the Typhoon Yolanda, Hainan, which was the first and only kind that ever happened in the history of this planet.
Right.
So who would like to give their opinions or comments on any of those three things that happened?
Well, let me start there.
We'll let Harry start.
Okay, okay.
Simply because I was rejected in Muntinlupa and I went out for Congress, for a seat in Congress.
So we're talking about elections
The
2013.
election period, yes.
Okay.
And what was the experience is it's numbing, because to run in this country, to get into politics, it's not about having a platform. It's not about having an advocacy. It's about having money and the people accepting that money, and that's the only way you're going to get into the system. And it's sad. I already knew it was the case, but I had to try. Now, as far as your second point was
The pork barrel.
the pork barrel. The pork barrel has been a perception that has been there for the last 30, 40 years. It just so happens now the perception of the people in general is there is corruption. In fact, we've made fun of this in the 80s with the in movies, in Channel 2 even, in mainstream TV, where you have a a congressman or a governor is depicted carrying a phone here to his left. I think it was De Leon who was running it. And, you know, we had a character, how corrupt they were, you know, and they have all these assistants and whatnot, and the lavish lifestyle. We've already known of this, but the whistleblower has come out into the open. And I think what is significant is not just the corruption and not just pork barrel itself, but the inability or the weakness of this administration to sit on it. The third effect, Yolanda being the worst, and climate change, all of that put together. The sad part, it's not even the volume of people that suffered, because in Ormoc, 5 years previous to this, 7,000 people went in 2 hours when the landslide came down, when the whole valley came down. What was sad was, I still believe there was no search and rescue. I think a lot of people died after the devastation because of inept, poor management on the devastation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but after any devastation, first there's preparedness, the devastation itself, then there should be search and rescue, then relief and rehabilitation.
Oh, you're right.
I think we bypassed that, and we put a civilian manager who really is supposed to be in charge. And sad to say, my friend Mar did not come up to the job. I believe it should have been, or I still feel very strongly, it should have been the military.
Okay, we'll get back to you,
All
Harry.
right.
We'll find out what, Larry, the elections, the pork barrel, and Typhoon Hainan.
Well, I'm
or Typhoon Yolanda.
going to bypass the elections because I don't vote here.
Okay.
The pork barrel, I've talked about this with Harry before. I believe that all of the people involved in the pork barrel scam at least knew what they were doing. They were wanted to steal some money, and they stole it, and were successful. In the United States, we had some knuckle-dragging Neanderthals that shut down the government for no natural purpose that I can think of. You know, so I think that that's one of the things that when you talk about greed and corruption, what you've got in the pork barrel, you can sort of understand that greed and corruption and trying to.
There's motive.
Motive, and what we had in the United States was no motive at all, just stupidity and ideology, I guess. And ideologists don't make very good legislators.
Did anyone profit from the government shutdown? I mean, did
Not
anyone?
that I know. Not that I know of. Not
So
that I
everybody
know of.
lost.
Complete stupidity.
It's partisanship.
Absolute stupidity. The second thing, I'm going to approach the typhoon from a little bit different approach than Harry did. The typhoon is awful. It's a terrible thing to happen, but so much outpouring of help and goodwill from the rest of the world. Just today on my show, had a young lady who, on her own, gathered some money in Japan, has come back to the Philippines, and is going to distribute food on her own. And if we had enough people that are doing that kind of thing, think of all of the help that can be there. And we've had that from all around the world, all of the help that has come to the country. And so I would like to say it was a terrible, terrible thing, but we did find out there are an awful lot of good people in the world doing some good things.
Hey, hey.
Right, right.
So,
Jerry, one point.
Okay.
What if the president took the opportunity, like the lost opportunity of President Cory when she was in the United Nations after the People Power Revolution, in this case because of the outpouring of the foreign countries, which is really hard, it's terrific, instead to ask for the debt relief. We spend close to, 700, 800 billion, 40% of our national budget still
Harry.
repaying the debt.
No, hold on.
Now, wouldn't that have been an opportunity? Stop the
Okay,
debt.
okay,
That's how we rebuild.
Okay, two things. One, with Cory Aquino. She wanted to do that. But our good friends, the American government, because it has to be unanimous, everybody said yes. The whole world said yes. Debt relief,
Yes.
to the Philippines. But our good friends, the Americans, said, no. So it friends like those guys who needs enemies, right? Okay. Now and then the thing that really brought us down.
Then let's send Kerry back home.
No,
He's here.
the
Persona non grata.
the thing that really brought the government, the economy down were the coups d'etat.
Yes.
Okay, the coups d'etat. I mean,
8.
8.
Yeah,
Can you
8.
imagine 8? And
8,
and
yeah.
half of them really bloody.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that really brought the economy down. Now, with Harry, we hardly have any debts now. That's why we are now lenders. We just lent the EU.
No. Excuse me, Jerry.
Yeah.
No. The debt relief is still up. It's automatic appropriation, which is why the appropriation in the budget that was just passed today
Yeah.
and signed by the president is only 1.2, 1.3. Close to 800 B is automatic appropriation, of which the debt relief continues. You will never pay the debt. You will never ever pay the debt, even in the next 30 years. It will continue.
No. We're doing so well with the debt. We're doing so well. We've become, we've got one of the best
No,
economies
we're out
now.
of the IMF. No, the debt continues. Not in the IMF.
Well, everybody's, the biggest debtor is the United
Yes,
States, trillions in debts, you know,
No,
so.
China owns America, let's face it.
Yeah, okay. No,
But
okay.
China's foolish enough
as
to
the
own
whipping
America.
boy
All right,
here.
okay, wait. Let's get into my take on
okay,
the
your
elections,
take,
the
your
pork
take.
barrel, and
Go for it,
typhoon.
Jerry.
Okay,
Okay,
go with it.
elections. I think this was the best ever elections in the history of the Philippines. I mean, nobody really said I was cheated. I mean, they had different reasons for winning and losing, but no one said,
Really?
hey, I
Yeah.
was cheated. Yeah, for whatever reason, these people bought votes, whatever it was. But the
yes.
thing is, nobody said I was cheated.
Hey, hey.
Okay, so good elections.
Okay.
The pork barrel. Well, let's put it this way. Those people who are being accused better watch out. And if those people say, hey, nothing's going to happen, we have a president who is under house arrest. As we speak, the president, the former president of the Philippines, who would make all of these people who are now being accused of being involved in the pork barrel, she had them at her beck and call. And now she is under house arrest in a hospital. I don't want to see her behind bars, okay? I mean, to me, it's enough that she's under house arrest. She's in house arrest, okay? That's enough. Now, the Chief Justice of the Philippines was impeached. So there is no reason while the others, senators, congressmen, mayors, and their cohorts are not going to meet their just end. So I'm pretty confident that something is going to happen with this pork barrel. And besides, it's been eliminated, so which is so good, which is great. Let's see what happens now. Now with Typhoon Haiyan, I am convinced that the government did a very, very good job. They couldn't have possibly done better. You put 10 of the best leaders in the world, you put the 10 economies of the world together and made them solve that thing that happened. I don't think they could have done any better than we did. This was 3 times stronger, more powerful than Hurricane Katrina. It took the United States of America close to 1 week before they were able to get inside New Orleans, which was part of the mainland USA. It took
Exactly.
them 1 week,
Exactly.
right? So what are they complaining about 3 days, 4 days, and nothing's happening? I mean, this was 3 times as strong in a country that is so much poorer in resources, you know, in material resources. And thank God, by the way, for all of those countries and individuals who helped the Philippines. God bless you. We couldn't have done it without them. And we still can't do it without them for the next several years. So, to me, I really believe that, I mean, it wasn't perfect. The response to the typhoon definitely was not perfect. But I think it was good enough, and no one could have done better. You know?
I like to make a point of that. I use the same comparison with what happened in Katrina, and the very same broadcaster from CNN, Snow White, what's his name?
Anderson
Anderson
Cooper.
Cooper, yeah. He made the same screaming noises during Katrina that he made during here. The fact is, when stuff like that happens, you don't have the ability to respond right away. It's a really, really tough situation. And when you take a look at Tacloban, it's an island, right? I mean, you've got, and you had no way of
Archipelago.
getting there.
because
you know,
the rescuers became victims.
Yeah, the rescuers were the
Right.
victims. There was nobody to be the rescuer.
Right.
They were all gone. So I think, I agree with you. I believe that probably the very best that could be done was done. Yeah, everybody would like to have it better, and yes, those people had a really hard time. But there was nobody shirking or slacking or
Right.
or saying, hey,
Right.
you know, just a minute, I got to have a cup of coffee.
Right.
That was not what was
Right,
happening. People
right.
were doing the very best that they could, and I don't see how anybody could have done it better either. I
I
agree.
had relatives and friends who went there to shovel debris.
Right.
You know, actually shovel debris. You know, so hats off to them. You know, and
sure,
and I'm sure all of us, without any doubt, we did our part. I mean, as much as we could. So everybody did their part, and I'm proud of the Philippines and the Filipinos and the world community.
Well, the world
Yeah.
community,
Yeah.
I'm so happy that we've still got hearts. You know,
Yeah.
people still have hearts, you know.
Okay, you're listening to not necessarily no, that's my program. That's my
You're at
program.
RJAM.
On
and your name again
DZRJ-AM.
was,
I have a
what's that?
program on DZRJ-AM. It's called Not Necessarily the News, and it airs every day, Monday to Friday, 12 noon to 2
Never miss a
p.m.
chance to do a
DZRJ,
CM,
8:10
man,
a.m.
this
And you'll also hear Harry and Larry there. But this program is called Open House with Jerry Cornell. It's on GNN, and don't you forget it.
Okay.
You know, I mean, they might be thinking they're on radio.
Okay, that
Right?
was,
And when we come back, we'll talk about what happened in Tacloban with the crying mayor and the future ex-president. You know, we'll be back right after this. Stay tuned.